If you do these drills, you will get slower, your technique will get worse, you're going to lose your feel of the water, and worst of all, you might even injure yourself. Now, before you go and yell at your swim coach for making you do these drills, in this video, I'm gonna show you what you should not do in the pool. Then, I'm gonna show you how to do the drills correctly so that you can improve your feel of the water, swim faster, and take your swimming to the next level. The first drill is kicking. Yes, kicking is making you slower, especially if you're just getting started. Do not kick, and don't do it with a kickboard, because when you kick with a kickboard, it's going to ruin your body position. Now, hear me out. When you kick, if you want to do it correctly, you have to use streamline. We call it streamline on back or streamline on your front. There's a lot of different variations. I like kicking in all 4 planes of motions, and the kick, I did say, is not important, but it's super important to develop your technique through drills. And now drills, we'll get into a few of them a little bit later, are important to building the foundation of this stroke. So why are you kicking with a kickboard? You can't use it when you swim. You can't use it in competition. If anything, it takes a lot of room and is bulky to take with you in the pool, to the pool, in your equipment bag, in the car. You get what I mean. Having a kickboard, I've only seen problems with it. Now, you can kick with something called an alignment board, but you may as well just do it in streamline. Now, if you're struggling to kick, if you know your kick technique is not good, you can use fins. So kicking on your back in streamline is not as difficult as it may seem, and this will teach you the proper body position. But I've seen so many people spend so much time and energy focusing on kicking with a kickboard, and that's wrong. Don't worry about getting a kickboard. Instead, get a pair of fins, focus on kicking in streamline on your back, streamline on your stomach. Point your toes, keep your legs as straight as possible, minimal knee bend, and keep your amplitude short and fast, and you will swim faster. So big mistake, kicking with a board, don't do it. The next one is Catchup Drill, but I love Catchup Drill. It sounds like ketchup and goes with mustard. No hamburgers here. The problem with Catchup Drill is when you cross the midline. You can't just slap your hands together. And the problem with doing it this way, doing the Catchup Drill where you cross the midline and your hands actually slap each other, it's teaching you the improper hand entry. When you swim freestyle, no matter what, you're entering the water with your fingertips first, and you should be aiming to enter the water directly in front of your shoulder. So if you slap your arms around when you're doing the Catchup Drill, you're not teaching yourself how to grab the most water, because remember, the water is 800 times more dense than air. So it is your goal to slide your fingers into the water, because anything else is just going to cause a lot of resistance. So if you cross the midline, you're increasing the pressure that's on your shoulders, plus you're going to have to slide your hand out in front of your shoulder anyway. So you may as well just start there. So focus on your hand placement when you're doing Catchup Drill. Now, I did mention mustard. Mustard, believe it or not, is actually a different drill where you focus on having the hand position of Catchup Drill, but instead of waiting for your hand to be placed right next to the other one, you're actually going to take the stroke when your fingers are at your elbow, your opposite elbow. So it's a little bit faster. It's more similar to doing regular freestyle. And so that's why it's so important that you make sure you place your hands in the correct position, and don't do Catchup Drill where you cross the midline. This drill is great when it's done correctly, and it's terrible when it's done incorrectly. Now, the next one up is swim speed. A huge mistake is just swimming slow, having no variation. I mean, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to swim or we're trying to float. So it's important that you add variation. You don't just swim every workout as slow as possible, but you also don't swim every workout as fast as possible. And having this variation is so crucial. So one of the best ways to swim faster is by adding variation to your training. Variation in speed, in distance, in stroke type, and even with equipment. So right now I've got the MySwimPro workout loaded on my Apple Watch, and as you can see, it's color coded, so that way I know exactly what effort level I need to swim. The intervals are personalized to me, and you can also see a set variation on each of the different different sets, meaning, and this one I'm going to descend or I'm going to negative split. And by adding that variation, that's actually how you make progress and how you swim faster. So if you want to check out this workout and others, make sure you download the MySwimPro app for iPhone and Android and get a personalized training program just for you. And once you have that variation in a personalized plan, you'll be able to have speed variation, stroke types, so you're doing all the strokes, fly back, breast free, equipment, you're gonna swim different distances, and the variations within the variations, which means things like build, descend, ascend, negative splitting. All those things will make you a faster swimmer. But a huge drill mistake that I see people do is just swimming the same speed all the time. You're only going to get slower and slower and slower and slower. So let's not do that. Now, another mistake I see is single arm freestyle drill. Now, this is a great drill to work on your body position, balance, catch, but it's wrong if you do it with both hands up. Now, hear me out, hear me out. This drill can have its benefits if you're able to isolate the catch. Most swimmers are capable of doing this drill with fins with a single arm out in front, and your opposite arm is just gonna be glued to your side. This really forces you to have full rotational momentum that's driven with your hips. Now, a lot of swimmers are not able to do this without fins, and that's totally okay. But if you watch the demo and you see how I'm doing it and you see other top swimmers do it, really focusing on driving rotation with your hips, your head is in line with your spine, and that's a big part of the rotation as well. And if you can master this drill with just one arm up front and one arm glued to your side, and you get full rotational momentum on both sides, having both arms hang in front. If you can do it with one arm at your side, you are going to be a very strong swimmer. You can also do this with a snorkel. It makes it a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about the breath, and if you have fins on, you can drive full rotational momentum with your hips and with your legs. But this is a big drill that I really get frustrated when I see swimmers confident that they're doing it correctly. No, that's not how it works. You need to build that rotational momentum in backstroke as well as freestyle. Those are our long axis strokes. And the next one is fist drill. Now, I love fist drill, but I hate when I see people doing it incorrectly. You're not fighting the water. A big mistake, doing it wrong, is just punching the water, trying to spin your arms as fast as you can because you think, you know what, I lost the size of my hands. I have these two fists. I'm either gonna take out my anger on the pool or I'm gonna spin my arms really fast to make up for the fact that I have smaller hands. And that's not how you swim. You wanna maximize efficiency of every single stroke that you take. So the correct way is to swim with grace. Sure, your hands are 50% of the size they were a few minutes ago. That doesn't mean you have to pound the water. Try and maximize your distance per stroke. Really feel the early vertical forearm because that's the point of this drill, is to work on your catch. So if you punch the water and you make a lot of splash and you create turbulence, you're not gonna catch any water. So make sure you swim with grace, and if you wanna do it really gracefully, add tennis balls. I love tennis balls. You can add golf balls, you can add whatever the heck you want. Just make sure you're swimming with grace and not having a fight with the water. So if you can focus on these things, you're gonna improve your consistency, your feel of the water, and you're gonna take your swimming to the next level. If you like this video, you're gonna love this one over here, 10 lies your swim coach might be telling you. Check it out, I'll see you over there, and happy swimming.